Hello ladies, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Paula. I am first and foremost a daughter of God, but I'm also a wife, a mom of one, and on this channel we have heartfelt conversations around biblical womanhood, marriage, motherhood, with a little sprinkle of homemaking. So I hope that you will stick around for this video, and when this video is done, tune into some of my other content, share, like, comment, and of course I would love to have you subscribe and join the community. So in this video I'm going to be talking about what I wish I knew as a first-time mom. I'm going to give you some lessons, okay, that I personally have been learning over the past almost 16 months. My son is about 16 months old, and I've learned some lessons. Okay, so if you are a mom who's expecting, or maybe you're single and you desire to one day have a family, I hope that what I share in this video today will encourage you and maybe even give you some things to think about. So let's go ahead and jump right in. The first lesson, and these are in no particular order, but the first lesson that I have learned is that comparison will steal your joy. I don't know, I think there's a phrase that says comparison is the thief of joy or something like that. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. It is so important that you do not look at your motherhood journey and think that it is supposed to look like the woman standing next to you, because that is not how that works. No two women are going to have the exact same motherhood journey. And social media is one of those things where, you know, it gives you an open window into the part of people's lives that they want to show you. And the truth of the matter is that some of the things that they're showing you is not even real. Like, they're just doing that just to gain views, right? Just to gain followers, and it's not even like their actual real life, right? And so, but with that, people can get on social media, moms can get on social media and feel like, oh, this is what it's supposed to look like, you know, and oh, my life doesn't look like this, and so something is wrong, something is not right. And so I just want to encourage you to not let that seep into your mind and cause you to miss out on the joy of motherhood, because comparison will cause you to do that. Comparison will cause you to be so focused on what you think it's supposed to look like based on somebody's highlight reel, versus you actually enjoying the blessing and the privilege of being able to be a mother. So do not allow comparison to steal your joy. The second thing I wish I would have known as a first-time mom is that motherhood is truly a journey. Some days you are going to feel like you are in the valley, you are in the trenches, you need help, okay, on all sides. And then some other days you're going to feel like you can conquer anything, and that is the journey. I have, at the time of this recording, one of my best friends is getting ready to give birth any day now. And you know, I was talking to her today, and she said, you know, I'm surrendered to whatever the Lord wants to do, you know. And it made me think about when my son was first born and how I was frustrated, if I'm being honest, you know, because you want things to just get back to a sense of normalcy. Like you want to feel some sense of normalcy. And you, or for me, let me just speak for me, I wanted to feel some sense of normalcy. And so it caused me to be more focused on what I wanted the days and weeks to look like, versus just really going with the flow and knowing that, hey, you have this little handsome newborn here. Like, let's just focus on right now, in this moment, in this day. Like, why are you trying to rush and get into a routine or rush and get back into feeling, like you have some sort of control. You get what I'm saying? So I've really, had to allow the Lord to help me embrace the journey, help me embrace the fact that right now in this season, one day my son may be a little more active, right? A little more just determined. And it may not be a day where everything is just, roses and dandelions, right? We may have a little bit of a challenging day. And then tomorrow may be better. And so I've really had to learn how to just take the days for what they are, and not look at myself as a failure just because we had a rough day. And to be quite honest, at the time of this recording, I think it was a couple of days ago, I felt like a failure because it was just such a rough day, and I don't feel like I handled it well, right? And so it's very important to me that I am being the proper example to my son. But what I also have to remember, and what I want you to remember, is that it's not about being perfect, but it truly is about having a willing heart. And I want to transition into this next lesson with this point, is that when we have a willing heart, we also have to lean on the Lord. Like, we have to have a willing heart toward his will and his way. Like, we have to want to mother in a way that pleases him, and also in a way where we're truly reliant on him, right? Because, as you know, I think it can be easy sometimes for us as women to want to kind of figure things out, but our motherhood journey, being wives, being homemakers, being followers of Christ, I mean, we have to surrender, our will and our way. We really have to lean on the Lord. I just want to give a quick, going back to just my birthing experience. So if you did not watch my birth story, by the way, it is up on my channel. But if you did watch it, you would remember that I talked about having a C-section. And I did not want a C-section. Let me just say it like that. There were things I was believing God for. And I personally felt like, man, everything I believe in God for this birth, I mean, this is like kind of the day of that things are happening, and it's just not going my way. It wasn't going the way that I had envisioned. It wasn't going the way that I thought it should go. And I felt like, you know what? God is just, he should just honor this, because I've been faithful to pray and to ask him for X, Y, and Z, and when things were going a different way, I missed out on the joy of this life being born. I missed out on that. And there were other factors as to where I was, like, mentally and emotionally. The previous month, my father unexpectedly passed away, and, just different things, so, there were different things that kind of contributed to where I was mentally and emotionally. But me just being so consumed with so many different things, and so I missed out on that joy. And because I felt like God did not come through for me, when in fact he actually did. He allowed my son to be born safe and healthy. He allowed me to go through a major surgery safely, so I did have that type of perspective. But my husband helped me to gain that perspective, and the Lord is still working with me, on dealing with the trauma and dealing with just kind of where I was in that whole situation. And so I just want to encourage you, whether it's the birth of your child or your children, or whether you are in that postpartum stage, or whether your kids are older, leaning on the Lord is just so important, because we truly cannot be mothers without Him. We cannot do this without Him. He is the source of our help. He's the source of our strength. He's the source of wisdom. He's the source of understanding. And so our motherhood journey should be filtered through our intimacy with God. And we take that into our mothering. And so, especially in the moments where things are overwhelming and things may seem unsure, we should lean on God and allow the intimacy that we've built with Him to help us along the journey. So the fourth thing that I wish I would have known as a first-time mom is, don't lose yourself. Take care of yourself. I am still learning this. I am still learning this because I do deal with the mom guilt, right? And you're probably going to deal with the mom guilt of like, man, I'm out here maybe getting my nails done, and I should be with my child every second of every day. Or maybe you're just taking some time for yourself. Maybe you're just in the bedroom laying down, just trying to get some rest, while somebody else watches the baby. And you may feel like, oh my gosh, like I should be out there, I should be with my child every second of every day, I'm a horrible mom. And your thoughts begin to just go down this rabbit hole. And the next thing you know, you just feel like you failed, right? And of course that's a lie, right? But it is important for you to take care of yourself. It is important for you to take care of yourself spiritually, making sure you're having your daily time with the Lord, physically, taking vitamins, drinking water, working out if you're able to, mentally and emotionally, just making sure that you're not trying to do this by yourself. And even if you're married, let me say this, even if you are married, right, you have to understand that the way that you think as a wife and as a mother is not the same way that your husband thinks as a father, right? And so the expectations, I think sometimes we put on our husbands to think exactly the way that we do and to parent exactly the way that we do. Now, I do believe that husband and wife should be on the same page when it comes to, raising a child. But, they're just, God wired us differently, men and women, right? And so it's important that we don't allow ourselves to get frustrated and overwhelmed because maybe our husband didn't do something the exact way that we would have done it, right? Maybe they didn't put the diaper on the way that we would do it, whatever the case may be, right? Something that's very small. But I'm saying all this because, we have to get out of the guilt of feeling like, well, if I'm not with my child 24/7, then I am wrong. I'm a bad mother and I failed. I don't think so. I think that it's important that you understand that you have to fill up your cup, right? You have to get get what you need, right? So that you have what you need to be able to pour out to your child, to be able to pour out to your children, right? And so don't forget about taking care of yourself. Don't allow that to just be on the back burner and say, well, I have a child, I can't do that. You can and you should. And even if it's just laying down for 15 minutes, I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to take that time because it's important. It's important. The next lesson, what I wish I knew, communication is so important. You have to be honest and know how to ask for help. You are not required to be a superwoman as a mother. You're not required. And I'm saying that because I've been in that same space where I felt like I can do it all. I can do it all. I can do it all. And all it does is it builds up this frustration and sometimes even resentment, right? Because you feel like, well, nobody cares about all this stuff, and it's like, wait a minute, calm down. Calm down and ask for help. And I have had to like really just embrace that, embrace the necessity of asking for help and knowing that it's really okay. Like, I do not have to be superwoman. God never told me that. I put that on myself. I put that on myself. And the truth is, when you're trying to just be superwoman and handle every single little thing, you're trying to take care of the kids, you're trying to cook and clean and do every single little thing, and you know that you need help and you know that you need rest and you don't ask for it, I'm telling you, sis, it builds up something in you. And so I want to encourage you to, first of all, ask the Lord for help and ask the Lord for strength and ask him for wisdom, ask him to help you manage things. But then also, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to say, hey, to your husband or to a family member that you trust or to a friend that you trust, like, hey, I need some help. Can you do X, Y, and Z? Right? So, communication definitely is key. And then the last lesson is that it's so important for us to make memories out of moments. Motherhood is truly a privilege, and our children are a gift. They're a gift from God. And God has entrusted us with them to guide them toward him, right? And while this journey does come with hills and valleys, we can't allow the days to just pass by without creating memories with our children. And I've struggled in this area, again, just out of being in my own head about things. But thank you, Lord. I've realized the importance of creating memories, because my son now, and as he grows, his biggest concern is not going to be if the dishes got done or if the clothes got washed, but he will remember whether or not I was a present mom. He will remember whether or not my husband was a present father. And you can be in the room and not be present. You can be around and not be present. And so we have to make memories with our children. There are things that we do with them that they may not remember, just depending on how little they are. But it's still so important that we just don't allow the days to pass by and we're rushing to the next thing. And no, I can't cuddle with her or with him because I gotta go do this and I gotta go do that, or I can't pick them up right now because I gotta do this. And sometimes, yes, sometimes we do have to like take care of something that has to be taken care of in that particular moment. But I think there are plenty of other times where we can stop and we can cuddle and we can just, pick them up and play and, whatever the case may be. So make memories. Make memories, sis. Make memories. So I hope that this video has encouraged you in some way. I feel like I was kind of all over the place, rambling a little bit, just trying to get my thoughts together. But I hope that these again, like these lessons encourage you. These are the things I wish I knew. These are the things that I'm still very much growing in and learning from. I would love to hear down below if you are a mom, whether maybe you are a first-time mom and your child is, 2 days old, or whether you are seasoned in motherhood and maybe you're an empty nester now. I would love to know what are the things that you've learned along the journey, right? What are the things that you've learned? I would love to hear that in the comment section, or read that in the comment section below. All right. Thank you so much, ladies, and I'll see you in the next one.